Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Potsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament, of the Christian Bible. I use the King James Version to put together the prophecy of Israel from the scattered bits and pieces of testimony left to us by the prophets of the Old Testament. And what I came up with was the Book of Zion, a prophecy about a book, about a prophecy that I wrote. And in order to publish that, which is part of the prophecy, I had to write the Potsmoker's Bible, a commentary, because the Book of Zion is written entirely in Bible verse. And today I'm beginning the 19th chapter of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the 16th chapter of the Book of Zion. It's called They That Hate Me, and it goes like this. This chapter is about society and its adherence to the war on drugs. The tactics the state uses against my people are on display, and the true life dangers my people face on a daily basis is pointed out. It points out the hypocrisy of this society in regards to the legal substances like alcohol and so-called medications. So this chapter shows the character of society in regards to drug use. According to this chapter, the moral character of America in particular, and society as a whole, is on display. We are told here about current moral issues like Black Lives Matter and the Me Too movement. These are two real-life examples of the message of this chapter. We have already seen the sins of my people. Now we learn the sins of our accusers. And their sins are many. It is their sins that do harm to my people and to the world at large. Their sins are real and deadly, which proves my people are more innocent than we appear. A good number of the sins of society seems to be based on the use of language. Propaganda uses hard words and outright lies or fictions to debase us and all others. Every social group has its own rhetoric for those who they call the other. Hateful words are used. Language is a large part of the world's problems. Language used by every side against the other. Governments, religions, and family heritage together have demoralized our society. Language is used as a weapon. Rumors and lies rule our lives. We see ourselves as the other because we are taught to see ourselves that way by the language used by the state, by the church, and by family. All three of these social orders have been used against the people of Zion. The government passes laws to destroy us outright. The religions use us as a scapegoat who must be destroyed in the judgment of God. And our parents treat us as though we have betrayed every member of our bloodline. Combined, these three groups have done us great harm. Humanity is a gullible race. Propaganda, by its very nature, is unreliable. Yet, Americans have let itself be led down the path of destruction using only words, without even bothering to check on the facts. We are told that drugs are evil, and all who use them are criminals. No one bothers to see if it's true. They just say, okay, drugs are bad. Humanity has become fools who will believe anything. Take, for instance, Trump. Anyone who can be a Trumpster is a fool. He has no truth. Yet his fans love him. He tells lies so often and of such magnitude that no one can believe him. Yet people do. In fact, to my utter shame, my own family loves Trump. How can you stand behind a man who tells you lies every day? To your face? Without remorse or without regards to consequences? Trump is proof of the foolishness of humanity. This misuse of language, which Trump is so good at, and the history of separationism that he exemplifies, has made us fragmented. The fact that we have prejudices that are being acted up on shows that we have crossed a moral line that has dire consequences. Hate crimes, mass shootings, terrorism, attacks, and the utter destruction of my people point out the folly of rhetoric and racist teachings, that separativism. In regards to the people of Zion, this use of language to demoralize us has to society done its job too well. The war on drugs stopped the emergence of a new people by projecting them into a harmful and lawless people. We have emerged, but not as priests, but as criminals. This was done in 1939 when the Prohibition began. The media blitz that began the war on drugs was pure propaganda. Hollywood was employed to create a false, very negative image of marijuana use. That image is still the basis for the need to wage the war. The rumors, lies, and false allegations of 1939 still rules the society narrative. The allegations of the war on drugs alleges that the people of Zion are criminals capable of violence and chaos, so horrific they must be separated from society at all costs. But prison taught me that true crimes are committed by everyone. Drugs don't create criminals. Society creates criminals. The war on drugs isn't about drugs turning good people bad. It's about the government's desire to control, manipulate, and profit from a minority group that it created for that very purpose. It was never about the dangers caused by my people or their drug use. The war on drugs is a set of laws that creates a means for the state to profit from the labor of its most vulnerable citizens. It preys upon the poor, the non-whites, and the defenseless, widows, the elderly, and the fatherless. These people are stripped of their rights, their property, their heritage, their future, and their livelihoods, all of which goes to the state, by the way. The citizens of every nation which wages the war on drugs are being robbed. Tax money is used to wage the war. A portion of every currency on the planet goes to the war on drugs. The government uses taxpayers' money to steal from a minority group which they created. So everyone is getting ripped off by the states who participate in the war on drugs. And what's really bad is that drugs are used by society for the very same reasons that we use our drugs. Case in point, alcohol. Alcohol is used for personal pleasure. The Gray point out, though, this fact. Clearly, the society that imprisoned me for marijuana legally sells alcohol. Alcohol is a far worse drug, yet it is legal. The use of alcohol by society makes the war on drugs a joke. How can one drug be legal while another one that's used for the exact same purpose is not? Alcohol is a drug. Alcohol use is dangerous. It has the ability to make you astral project. When people black out, they're actually leaving their bodies, and their bodies are then open to outside forces. The Grey used this ability to visit me through an associate. So, having alcohol legal is actually a very dangerous practice. Alcohol also does real harm to the body. It is a poison. It can and does kill. It does both short and long-term damage. People also become physically addicted to it. Of all of the drugs available, alcohol is perhaps one of the most deadly. Yet this is the legal drug. The illegal drugs like marijuana promote peace. They've been found medicinal on purposes. Drugs like meth promote industry, created by Hitler during the war. Cocaine enhances human strength. Its natural state is used in South America for very beneficial reasons. But alcohol promotes violence and the loss of control over the body. Why is alcohol legal? And alcohol isn't the only harmful legal drug. Many of the drugs sold as medicine are very harmful and very deadly. Most of these drugs are advertised, promoted by the state as safe. Doctors are given incentives to sell these dangerous, harmful drugs to sick people. So it's not just alcohol that the government deems legal, but truly harmful drugs are sold as medications. Then there are the opioids, painkillers, so addictive that people will sell their souls for them. Legal drugs promoted, which are so addictive, there's an epidemic of addiction to it. The drug lords that we call pharmaceuticals promoted these drugs as being likely to be abused, saying, here's a great drug to use illegally. Try it. You'll be addicted. The true drug lords created a very profitable drug abuse crisis that they are controlling through lobbyists in the government. Then there are the date rape drugs. Drugs designed and sold for the sole purpose of abusing others sexually. Date rape drugs are man-made drugs that it's a true testament to the character of this society that such a drug exists or is allowed to be used in such a heinous manner. Damn all those who allow or abuse such drugs. The legal status. We'll take this up next time. May the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. And may they teach you right from wrong. May you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it. Make that your guilt choice when we get to our tents. Stay happy and high if you use drugs. You have every right and reason to. Believe me, I know. I wrote the book. So I'm going to say goodbye now because I love you way too much to ever say. I'm going to say later now because I love you too much to ever say goodbye.